Hi, welcome everyone. Ah, it's really great to be practicing again together. Um, and one thing I did in my last class that I live streamed was, yeah, I just thought in one little way of just showing your presence rather than showing up as a little number of people watching is that at the end of the class, just right at the very end, if you want to, you could leave a comment and you could just say hi or any kind of comment that you wish to share with people you just practiced with. You can always leave me a comment about anything else you'd like to work on or yeah, whatever feels appropriate. I have been told that in order to leave a comment that you have to be subscribed to the Common Ground YouTube channel, but I'm also unsure about that. So we'll see. So so we're still in the midst of this wild time, and I just can only use my imagination to know just the range of experiences that people are having during this time of this pandemic. So, what I can offer then is maybe my own reflection, things I'm hearing from people. But boy, have I noticed that a lot of just the stress of this time really lands in my body. And it just, I'm so thankful then for this practice, for these tools, to have ways to be open to what is happening in our world right now, whether it's happening to me, happening to others, um, and reduce stress and suffering. So, today, then, as I'm going to respond to some of the requests I've had around doing work around the neck, and then just kind of the belly, how easy it is. At least I have found that I've just gotten kind of hard, or I'll find like this weird tension in my belly, almost to the point where sometimes I don't like I don't have an appetite, and or weird appetite. So when we do our practice, then like we can just learn like how this works and always has worked for us. And yeah, it's like almost this is when our practice really comes alive. So I'll be naming these different areas as we start to bring awareness to these areas and then kind of tie it all together. So let's go ahead and just start. We're going to start right here seated. We're going to just do um, breathing, awareness practice to start out with. So go ahead and find a seated pose and close your eyes. So I've named this theme a little bit as this first grounding and really feeling this settling and grounding sense, an actual sense in the body. This is taught also in meditation. I know Mark the other day was talking about if you wish for these waves to come to stillness, waves in the body or in the mind. It's just like imagine you were carrying a little cup of tea and you wanted the tea to not ripple or move. Well, the most effective way would actually be to really put it down. So you could think of right now, you're just putting your body down. This is similar to the word asana. When we use this word asana, it's called a meditative seat. Like we're sitting, we're putting ourselves down. Taking a few little deeper breaths, but this is just to help in the settling process and feeling your body, feeling the settling. You might bring awareness to your face and actually feel that calm, the releasing any tension around your face. And as the base of the body is really grounding and feeling that heaviness, start to then feel a lifting, an actual awareness. So maybe imagine the spine just lifting up through the spine, all the way up to the very crown of the head. You might just bring awareness to the mouth and the throat, space around the throat, really soft. So whatever is weighing on you, that you're putting it down for now. And because of this strength in the spine, the belly can soften. Even at any point in this practice, I've been doing this spontaneously of just taking my hand to my belly and just do a couple circles around. Oh, so there's this pleasantness of connecting and being in the present. Even if in many ways the present moment, what's really happening in the world maybe isn't pleasant, we could describe as pleasant, but it's the connecting that is calming. Kind of just a wise remembering. Now, let's go ahead and just reach the arms forward. Start to bring the arms up, reaching up, lifting up. Keeping the throat and the mouth really soft here. We'll move into our Bhastrika breath where you make fists with your hands and you pull down, keeping the lift up through the spine. Now inhale through your nose, reach up through your fingers. Exhale, pulling down, keeping the lightness around the heart. Lifting up on the inhale, pulling down on your exhale. And as you're doing this, here's that sense of grounding, very base of the spine, grounding down, bringing that kind of lightness and spaciousness around the whole chest, throat, even around your brain and your eyes. Close your eyes as you do this. Breathe through your nose, both on inhale and exhale. Explore. If the mind is wandering or if it's kind of half here, practice deepening your interest. Next time you pull down, just reach the arms way out to the side and start to do your back and forth. Just tip to one side. Breathing, moving. Inhaling as the arm goes up, the exhale, and then the inhale, the exhale. Just go back and forth. The felt sense of the grounding. Space around the throat. Even open your mouth a little bit here and feel like a little yawn. a feeling of even your throat opening up. I've noticed I have awareness about almost not wanting to breathe because of this awareness of how, we're being told a lot about um, breathing and how the particles move out from us. So let this be then a time. And now I am breathing. I'm allowing this cleansing deep breath. Good. Now, as you let go of this, just bring arms down. Keep the arms right down to the side and just do a little back and forth where you're keeping your chin level. You look to one side, but really soft eyes. You're not straining your eyes. And then you look the other way. Just to feel, oh, what does the neck feel like today? But yeah, not really cranking the neck here. As you're doing this movement, you can feel that gentle effort to lift up through the vertebrae, even that space in your throat windpipe. It's good to do this though without the eyes straining to look back. Now, as you pause, you're going to let go of your um, legs, undo the legs here, and then go ahead and recline back. We are going to do a couple little exercises here specifically for your neck and right at the really the very top of your neck, the uppermost vertebra here. So go ahead and recline and take your hands behind your head, interlace your fingers, and then just drop your elbows down here. You might adjust your shoulders or, making sure that your head really can drop down. So you're facing the ceiling. And now you're just going to take your eyes and look to the right with your eyes. And hold that. Don't try to strain your eyes. You just can feel I'm looking to the right and I'm holding this. If you want to, you could close your eyes. So we stay here for up to a minute. Keep the eyes kind of relaxing as they're looking to the right. And then as you let that go, just eyes relax, just looking up to the ceiling. Now you'll look to the left. So just the eyes. Look to the left, holding that. Feel free to close your eyes, but knowing that you are still holding the eyes as they look to the left. Steady wave of breath here. Be attentive. Notice if you sense any little teeny change as you're holding the eyes looking to the left. And then as you relax that, just eyes looking to the ceiling, take a breath, and then come all the way back up. Bring yourself back up to seated, sitting cross-legged, and just arms down, sitting up tall. And then just look to the side again, just like we did. Eyes are relaxed, looking to the side, and then slowly looking to the other side. You might notice there might be a change in your range of motion in your head. Do this one more time, looking to the right, looking to the left. It might also have just an effect on feeling around the eyes. That exercise can have an effect on your nervous system. So pause, just let that go. You're going to go actually back onto your back side, and we're going to be a little more active, really just starting to breathe and move. So recline, and let's take the arms out to the side, reach the legs up into the air, circle your feet around. Really get into the movement of the toes, like you're working your toes, moving, spreading, pointing, flexing, wiggling, moving individual toes, ankles. Breathe to the belly, space across your chest. Good, and then just bend the knees, take your hands behind your head, and let's do our little twisted sit-ups here where you lift your head up and you extend your right leg out, and then you reach your right elbow across to your left knee. Just extend out here, and then let this go, bending both knees, head down, and then lift the head again. Elbows towards your knees, extend the left leg, and then reach that left elbow across. And then just let go. Do this now, breathing and moving. Lift the head, extend the right leg, reaching across. I like to inhale as I bring my head down. And then the exhale, lifting up, just squeezing as you do your twisted sit up. Back and forth. Just don't hold your breath. Now, as you let that go, just reach the arms and the legs up into the air. And then start to reach your arms up overhead and start to lower your legs down a little bit. But don't let the legs drop. Don't let the arms even touch. And then bringing them up, reaching to your ankles, and then let go. Just let this open up, reach the arms above your head, legs lower, and then coming together. Keep the legs straight, keep the arms straight. Doing this repeatedly, just a big warm up here. Yeah, and then as you let go, bend your knees, feet to the floor. Let's take the arms down and then get right into that pelvic tilt where you draw your navel and you contract your navel, you pull down. And then you do the opposite. You kind of lift the navel. You can lift your chest a little bit here, arching your lumbar. And then exhale, pull the navel down, just squeezing. And do this back and forth. The whole pelvis is tilting, but please be aware of your whole spine as you do that. Back and forth. When you exhale, when you pull your navel down, Imagine your whole floor of your pelvis lifting. So as you do this back and forth, we're going to wake up that awareness of the whole floor of your pelvis. Lifted, contracting and lifting up. Make sure when you arch your lower back that you do lift your breastbone slightly, like your whole spine kind of lifts up. Continue going back and forth. Now, your knees are bent as you do this. Please keep the base of your big toes grounded down. Really press and feel that your feet, that you're not rolling to the edges of your feet at all. They're grounding. And this is right in that whole awareness of being grounded, steady. Throat is soft. You're breathing. The nostrils are really open. Good. And then as you let that go, let's go ahead and roll over to the side. And as you come up, you're actually going to move right to downward facing dog. And fingers are spread. So how do we ground here? We ground through the hands. And as you lift up, there again are the base of your big toes grounding down. And the inner hands grounding down. Slowly grow this pose. Get a sense of your whole spine, the length from the very base of the spine, that base of the pelvis, all the way to the crown of the head. Let them kind of grow apart to lengthen the spine, and then move towards your plank pose. When you move to plank pose, here's that little navel lift, but imagine the whole floor of the pelvis kind of lifting up here, and then back to downward facing dog. The untucking of the tailbone as you reach your heels down deep into that calf stretch. Breathe as you move back and forth here. And please notice how your head is attached as you do this. You're aware of the neck, the throat nice and open. Even do a few more of these with your eyes closed. Listen to your breath. Now briefly touch your knees down and reach the hips back to your child pose. Just feeling, connecting, feeling your belly here. And then as you come up, we're just going to grow this right into our side plank, but you can do this playfully, like as a warm up, that as you lift up here, please make sure that you let's take right foot way back and push into the outer right foot. Now this is really good for just that strength through the core. You can open the soles of your feet are stacking, you lengthen the legs, there's that little lift of the pelvic floor, lightness around the heart, just reaching up here very lightly. Switch sides. So do this kind of efficiently. Talked about that last week. Move from stability. So you have to feel grounded here. Grounding, opening. Firm. Nice big breath. And then as you let go, pause. In your down dog, close your eyes, steady wave of breath. Now touch the knees down, all fours, so hands are under your shoulders. You can take the knees apart. Let's just do a little cat and cow back and forth. Cat pose. Lift the navel up as high as you can. Even focus on how when you lift your navel, you're tucking the tailbone way under. And then untuck, untuck, untuck the tailbone. Arms are firm as you reach your chest forward. Now with the breath, exhale, just squeeze, squeeze out here. Inhaling. Close your eyes, do a few back and forth. Feeling the grounding as you're doing this through the hands. Even press your shins down as you're letting this wave move through the spine. As you pause in a flat back. With this flat back, you are looking towards the floor, so the back of your neck is long. Now you're going to take your right ear towards your right shoulder. And as you're holding that, you're keeping the shoulders back away from the ears and look to the right with your eyes. And then we're slowly releasing. Again, you're just facing down and bring your left ear towards your left shoulder. Look to the left with your eyes. So you are not facing the left, you're still facing down. Good. As you release this, let's take big leg movement. So just keep neck neutral, knees together. Reach your left leg way back. Bend the left knee, open that knee out to the side, lifting, lifting, and then dropping it down. Take the left leg back. Did I say that right? Left leg back. We'll just do this back and forth. Opening the knee out to the side and then dropping down. Just big movement. This is a good one to just get a really big smile on your face, or a smile around the heart as you're doing this giant movement with your leg. And that kind of flaring open of your nostrils. Like there's a real fullness to this movement. Like you're so aware, I'm not holding my breath. I'm not holding my breath. My whole body is really breathing. Keep that awareness of the neck, how you are not at all pushing your shoulders up. Like you're really keeping that length through your throat and through your neck. Now, as you pause, we'll just take both knees down and let's take our balancing pose here where you take your left foot out to the left side slightly, reach your right leg way, way, way back. Flex that right foot so you're reaching through the heel and then push into the floor so you are grounding down and you start to open up to the right. Notice if you could reach that right heel back, back, back. And at the same time, your navel slightly drawing in, you reach your right arm up. You get that sense of the pelvic floor lifting up as you reach back through your right leg. sensing deep space in that right hip. Very slowly bend the right knee, keeping the navel in, that the lift of the pelvic floor. So in front of your right hip stays very open. Explore as if you could take the right foot to your butt. So there's going to be a lot of sensations as you're doing this. Stay grounded. Keep reaching back through that right knee. And then let the top hand come down. Extend the right leg, and then it comes down. So right foot will move out to the right a little bit, left leg reaching way, way back. And as you're doing that, I keep repeating that because you want to actually shift weight so you're on your right leg. You're not pouring weight into your right hand. And then that awareness around the navel, that lift of the chest, you pull back through that back leg. Kind of exaggerate that. You could lift, imagine that whole floor of the pelvis lifting up. So it's really strong and open through that back leg, reaching the top arm up. Grow that sense of stable, grounded, and the levity, the lightness, the little bend of that left knee. And as it bends, keep drawing the navel in. And just explore that, bending the knee, bending the knee. Feel the whole body here, really deep in that full awareness. Now, as the top hand comes down, you can just re-extend the left leg, and then the knee comes down back to your down dog. And just do a few more of those down dog to plank. And as you do down dog to plank, you might add in just a little bit of a little push up. And then to your down dog. Making sure that the base of your big toes firm, grounded, firm. The inner hands, that base of the first finger, base of your thumbs, grounding. Even when you bend your elbows, that your neck stays long. There's kind of a lightness. Please move back to your side plank. So the right foot stepping back, open to the right. Again, these are more of just a practice of staying grounded as you move into the pose. And then as you let go and you transition, to just stay really calm and grounded. Remember, if we want that stillness, it's like we put the body down. We really feel that. And grounding, grounding. Opening to the other side. And then as you let go, moving through your plank pose right onto your belly. And then on your belly, we're going to do a little exercise. This is for your upper back, your trapezius. Start, please, by extending your legs back and opening through the front of your hips, that kind of flattening the hip crease. Now you're going to take your hands and just stack your hands. Place your forehead on your hands. And then you're going to lift the hands away from the floor, thus lifting your head. Really keep the head on the hands, like pushing. Now go ahead and lift your elbows. And just breathing here. Release down. And lifting again. Lift the head, lift the elbows way up. Now, as you let this go, you're going to just take your hands back. You're in a very small cobra pose. Focus on extending the neck. The slightest reaching of the heart forward. And then looking slightly to one side. And then look to the other side. Back and forth. Explore the sense of your neck. Really fluid back and forth, and that you're keeping your shoulders back. Don't strain your eyes. Now, releasing that and moving back to down dog. Push into your hands. Lift up. So from down dog, let's reach the right leg way back towards three-legged dog. And then just pull the right knee into the chest, squeeze in. Inhale, the leg goes back. Exhale, draw and squeeze in. Now lift the left heel high up. And then next time, step the right foot forward. Big step. So this is important now as we start to lift up into crescent pose. I really want to shift. So when I lift up, you might lightly touch your thigh. I need to feel grounded. So the base of both big toes, even though the feet are doing very different, have different positions here, ground the base of the big toes. And then the right heel grounding down, start to lift up. Arms reach out. If it makes sense, kind of sit into this. So, grounding, straighten the back leg and work. Work that back leg. Arms come up. So the very base of the floor of the pelvis does lift up slightly as you're grounding. The actual grounding down here is technically just your feet. Like your feet in each of them, when we're standing, like the feet are kind of in cement. Stable. And the rest of the body is actually moving up. Arms reach out to the side. Take a twist towards your right. Maybe deepen this, kind of sitting into this twist. If you wish, take left hand to the right thigh. Steady. Good. As you untwist, you reach the arms back up, you straighten that front leg. And then you move to warrior two. So the back heel drops. The front knee, right knee bends, and you reach the left arm back, right arm forward. Now, aware of your feet, Feel the base of the big toes. Feel your heels. Even the toes spread here a bit. The lift of the pelvic floor. That lifting up that whole base of the pelvis. And that lifting is actually kind of pulling up through your legs. Actually, like kind of sucking the legs like whoop, into the body. From your ankles, it just lifts up now all the way through the spine. As you look to the right, very soft eyes. And then just breathing here. So open through the soles of the feet, so grounded. That due to that grounding, there's a lightness around the heart. Now kind of slow motion to our Parshva Konasana, side angle pose. So you bend the right elbow and you actually push into the outer left foot. Take that right forearm right above your knee. And then just reach the top arm. Lift the pelvic floor. And that maintains the lightness rather than kind of drooping into this. And as you let go, we'll just take the top arm, it's going to come down. And you're going to move back to down dog. Really sharpen this pose and feel the whole body. Firm through your elbows are firm and straight, knees are straightening. So the left leg is going to reach back. That big inhale. As you exhale, you pull the knee into the chest, just squeeze. Inhale, it goes back. Exhaling, pulling in your own pace here. I'm just going to encourage you to stay with this. When we're taking a virtual class like this, it might be tempting to just not quite put the full effort in, like you would when you're practicing with other people. But you are practicing with other people. I see you. So that left foot is going to step forward. So we need this grounding for a crescent pose. We ground, we start to push up, or we lift up, adjust, adjust, adjust. So the base of your big toes, grounding, and then from that grounding is the lifting. Arms coming up. Keep straightening the back leg. Find your footing. So good to explore the whole area of the soles of the feet. The lift of the pelvic floor. Space around your chest now. You reach arms out to the side. So it's really important when you twist here that you do not just look back with your head. Because it starts around your navel, does a little twist. And then the upper chest, the shoulders rotate. Make sure the whole time I'm grounded, stable. You could take right hand to the left thigh if you want. But not straining your eyes. As you untwist, the arms reach up, you straighten that front leg, you're still firm and grounded. The back heel drops down, and we transition to warrior two. Now as you do this, you bend the front knee, you might really adjust the feet. The reaching of the arms that lift straight up of the pelvic floor. So we're not in the hips or that base of the pelvis. It's not just sinking here. It's all that is so important, that connection. Legs, the body, that energy moving up. And then sensing right around the chest. Revisit the base of the big toes, ground the heels. As you're looking to the left here, the eyes are soft. You could even close your eyes, explore. Like you put the cup down. Bend the left elbow. Now keep the length through the spine as you extend out to the left, touching that left forearm right above your knee, Parsvakonasana. Extend the right leg, still lifting pelvic floor. Reaching right arm alongside your head. As you let go, the top arm comes down, you move back to down dog. Move a couple times, plank, down dog. Close your eyes, move with your breath. Feeling the softness of the eyes. Good to feel the earth, the grounding here as you're moving. I always like to invite people like over stabilize. Why not? Now go ahead and release down onto your belly. And as you lower down here, slide the hands back either side of the chest, reach the legs back. And as you lift towards just basic cobra here, get a sense that you are grounding right at the very bottom of the buttocks, where the buttocks meet the thigh. For my teacher, William, thank you, William, calls this the thut, where the thighs meet the butt. And you're grounding there. Like you're not pushing your belly down, you're way down. And as you're doing that, you could reach your chest forward. Even slightly slide your navel forward. And that action, that keeping the thut down, really grounds your legs. You could spread your toes. Full locust pose, reach arms back. Now lengthen and lift the legs. And as you start to lower out of this, look to the right. Almost lower all the way down, but don't touch. And then lift again. Locust pose. Arms reaching back. And then you lower, you look towards the left, almost touching. Then you lift. Do that again. Look to the right, lower down. Lifting back up. As you lower down, look to the left. Feel your neck. And lifting up. Down dog. Pause here. Completely still, like you're putting the body down. You're stable. Close your eyes. Breathe. So, right leg is going to reach back. step the right foot forward. And as you step forward, let's prepare for warrior one. Back foot drops down and you start to push into the feet, lifting up. So base of the big toes really ground. And that even expands and spreads your toes. And then ground your heels. And then we start to lift up here. Pelvic floor slightly lifts. You reach your arms up. Space in the throat. So that whole lift of the pelvic floor creates a lot of space around the chest. Soften the eyes. Now keep feeling your feet. Grounding, lifting. In your own way, you're going to move to your tree pose. You lean forward as you shift your weight onto the right leg. Feel the sole of the right foot. So we have to feel that base of the big toe and the heel. There, you're not tipping out to the sides at all. Establish that, the whole foot. Imagine is like packed in the earth, and you lift up from there. First grounding, then lifting. If you want to explore a deeper pose, you could lift that left foot higher onto the inner thigh. If you want to explore your Hasta Padangusthasana B, you could lift your left thigh up. Maybe bringing your left hand to the left foot in some way and straightening that left leg, right arm reaching out to the right, all from a place of stability. Being very clear, that spaciousness for wisdom to come in. So as you let this go, that left foot comes down, feet a little space apart, your forward bend. Drop your head, let your head shake a little bit here. The head kind of shaking no. Let it shake yes. But even here, even though you're kind of hanging here, there's that consciousness in your feet. That's why I often ask people to just lift your toes, move, or press down. So the feet are grounding, but as you press down, you're lifting up through your legs. So ground the base of your big toes, lift up through the inner legs. Just pulling up. Back to down dog. Notice the difference here. This is a lot more space. Opening through the hips. That now left leg is going to reach back. And you step the left foot forward. So we're going to build our warrior one pose, focused on the feeling of being stable. That right foot dropping, the lifting up here, back leg straightening, and as it straightens, grounding. So base of the big toes grounding, heels grounding, and from that grounding is the lifting. Breathe into this inner space. Sense your throat. Lift up through your spine. Right up. right where the spine enters the brain. And then as you move to your tree pose, your transition, balancing, get a sense of that left foot. The opening of the foot. Stable. Give the tree a little time to root down. The tree trunk. Now, it's not like we need a better pose. Like, well, I'm going to move into that next difficulty. It's a real organic unfolding. So where you're placing the right foot, and then if you want to explore this Hasta Padangusthasana B, lift the right thigh, then you might just be here. You can play with like extending that right leg a little bit, or holding right foot. You could hold the outer foot. Some people like to hold the big toe. And then make sure this doesn't start to sink down. I'm pushing, grounding, gradually extending. Both legs. Reach the left arm out to the left. So there's that space for wisdom. As you let go, staying grounded. Foot comes down, arms come down. So take the feet a little bit wider apart here and keep a nice lift up through the spine. Just do a little twisting where this is just really floppy and fluid. Shoulders rotating, arms swinging, breathing. Good one for your belly. Let the arms actually slap, sense, feel this kind of tapping of the belly. The soles of the feet really stay open. Good, and then just letting that go. Move down to your mat, sitting down. Take the pose of Baddha Konasana, where the soles of your feet are together. But please be aware and mindful of this, that as you do this, that this doesn't suddenly, as you're doing this, you don't get into that kind of rounding back here. So I like to practice this one with the hands actually behind you. So you could lift up. There's that, in fact, that little lift of the pelvic floor here. And now I'm still leaning back a little bit. If I bring myself upright, it's not just doing this. So aware of the back of the neck from between your shoulder blades all the way up to this area of your occiput. And then as you breathe to your belly, the very base of your pubic bone is dropping down. So sensing and breathing into this space was like BKS Iyengar described it. He put it into the words of alignment is enlightenment. It really is that space that comes in. The body is free of tension. Now, let's go ahead and take the right leg and extend it forward. And as you extend it forward, that left foot is on the inner right thigh. Keeping the hands down, and lift up through the spine, lifting the ribs up. Forward bend towards Janu Shirshasana. Big forward bend. If you want to start to reach your hands forward, or I like to take left hand and actually press the left hip down, like deep in that left hip crease. Take kind of a jellyfish movement where you inhale, the ribs expand, you lift up a little bit. And as you exhale forward, like the spine lengthens forward, you inhale, you kind of lift up, kind of fluff out the ribs, exhaling forward. And all the way up to your brain. This is good to just even close your eyes, really get into the feeling of this. I find that this forward bend is so very different than when I'm standing. You might even take that left hand and reach across to the right. Maybe that outer right foot. This jellyfish action continues, but maybe very small. And then as you come up, arms come behind you, lean back a little bit, Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, and aware of that pelvic floor, not tensing and gripping here. Around your belly button. With strength through the spine. As you extend your left leg, you just reach right out here. Grounding, so important to ground and lift. And then from that lifting, you hinge forward, even take right hand to that right hip. The left thigh, the left leg is engaged. So we don't just soften and flop the leg. That left thigh is pushing straight down towards the floor. And then instead of just really folding over here, close your eyes and feel the jellyfish, that inhale, expand the ribs, and then a little exhale, squeeze. Then I'm fairly impartial to what your hands do. As long as there's this felt sense of really moving, feeling the spine, the connection, the grounding down, taking maybe right hand across to the outer left leg, outer left foot. I like the little twist as you do that. There's still this idea of even putting the cup down here. So the inner waves really calm. And as you come up, lean back a little bit. Let's take the feet wide apart and knees are bent. You're leaning back a little bit. Just drop the knees back and forth, back and forth. Soft, soft belly. And we will move now right into our Shavasana prep pose. I really appreciate, love doing this one, especially for the belly. So you recline, you take your arms out to the side, knees are still bent, take feet towards outer edges of the mat, and then just slowly drop the knees over to the right. Let this be really organic. So the body, you just might be a little adjusting even as you look to the left, the head, don't force that, but the head is dropping to the left. If you want to, you could take your hand, right hand on your belly. And there's that, you might circle the hand around, just feeling the space of the belly. Sometimes you can tell when the body is calming, and when you're shifting into that parasympathetic nervous system response where the belly might actually start to gurgle a little bit, almost like the digestion little flip his switch to like rest and digest. Switch, take the knees up and over. Right arm reaching out, left hand to the belly. And then as you let this go, take yourself right to Shavasana. Almost like the body is just in its own way, moving into Shavasana. So you're really aware of your connection. In order to ground in this pose, it can really vary where you're placing your arms. Um, get to know this. So you might keep a blanket nearby or a certain little cushion that you put under your head. Moving now into stillness. So here really is that putting the cup down. The body is a little, it's complex. It can hold on to tension in a way that a cup cannot. So we look really closely, mostly relaxed here. Bring awareness to the head. Feel the weight of the head just drop down here. Soft face. Now bring your full awareness to your breath, your breathing. And as you do this, do not interrupt or change your breath at all. Rather, really enjoy. Watch watching these waves. Even could you kind of tell where the breath initiates? Where does it kind of start? And then where does it move into? You follow the waves. Getting interested in this very natural process that you do not have to manipulate at all. Rather, it's like watching the waves on a lake. You can be satisfying to completely let go of control. Allow the whole body to merge with the earth. As you feel the waves of breath, you might really reveal how inside of the body it's just so soft and fluid. You might imagine that the whole body, as it rests on the earth, it's like a little lake. You feel just that heaviness, the connecting, merging with the earth, with nature, in a way that it really makes sense to do that. Be aware of your skin. And as you're breathing, it's just this light breeze moving across the surface of the lake. Little ripples. Bring awareness around the space of the heart. Dropping into that most basic gratitude, being alive. And as you've taken time to give yourself this beautiful gift of your own awareness, I think we can actually feel and sense how powerful it is. We feel like, oh, that little quiver around the heart. I really care. This beautiful example of caring. And then we'll start to come out of Shavasana. explore the coming out of Shavasana, the movement, the little movement, and then like, that transition where you move back up to seated. Taking palms together in front of the heart. Notice the energy in the body. Maybe that, oh yeah, the spine, that alignment through the spine, space around the brain. Sending out the wish, like we actually just let go of the fruits of our practice here and share. As we take this caring presence out into the world, may all beings benefit. And close with the sound of Om. You can join in if you want to, or just silent Om. Take a deep inhale. Deep gratitude. Thank you so much, everyone. Namaste. You be well, and may we continue practicing together. Like I said, I know that this is kind of a slim class, not a lot of participants. If you want to chime in, I think there's a little chat area off to the side there if you want to say hello or leave any comments. I will just let this live stream continue for a minute or two, and yeah, it's nice to connect if you feel like you want to. Coming up this week, there will be a Friday morning class. So Friday morning is level 1. That class is from 9:30 to 10:45 in the morning. And then Sunday is Sunday afternoon. I will do our yoga and deep relaxation. And that one, boy, I feel like I've gotten a lot of feedback of people really appreciating that deep relaxation class. If you have not attended that, I mean, there's one in the on the Common Ground live stream page on our YouTube channel. But then this Sunday I'll lead a different one, so it will be just a slightly different inner journey each time that I lead that class. Have a beautiful rest of the day. Thank you so much for practicing, because here in Minneapolis, it is a gorgeous day. So I just want to say thanks so much for taking time and practicing.